También odia a Brasil. ¿Qué motivos tendría para ayudarle? Esto es mi culpa, él es su padre. Soy yo quien se dejó llevar por la...
All right, let's get things started here. Should be some more people hopping in pretty soon. All right. And we are live on YouTube as well. So welcome those that are watching on YouTube. All right. So there's a couple things to be discussing today for Technical Tuesday. Obviously, I'm going to be doing the live analysis, possibly find out some potential trades to place tonight during London session. So stay on the lookout, make sure to stay in. There will also be some training included, so you all can learn as well. And let's get started. Now, before we get started, some couple updates that we have going on inside of the Discord. So we actually we're going to be using both Discord and Telegram for the team communication. So those that are inside of here, there's going to be mainly two roles, and I actually made an announcement on that. We have the AMM VIP members, which is people that have the auto trader, the auto trader. This is what's running right now on the back end right here. But so for those that have the auto trader, you should have the role AMM VIP member. And then for those that have the training portion, we'll have MMA VIP members. So we're now combining both different sides. Previously, we had the Auto Market Masters section and then Market Masters Academy. Now we just put everything into one. So now everything will be visible within here. So let's just say if someone has the AMM VIP, you'll be able to see like the training portions. From the EA download to the presets that we recommend, everything is going to be listed there once you have that role given to you. Yeah, and if you do need the role, just head over to the MM support area. Once you go there, we'll be able to select the new member setup tab. And from there, we'll have someone from support give you access. All right, so that was just a quick update on what we have going on. Now let's get started with Technical Tuesday. Now, before I continue further, can you guys just make sure inside the chat area, if you can hear my voice okay, just put a 1 in the chat box area, just to make sure everything's good before I continue with this about 30-minute webinar here. Okay. All right, perfect. So there's going to be some things I'll be discussing today. So first thing, let's get started with looking at what we have for the news. I know this week there wasn't many high impact anywhere, but today, usually Wednesday, there is high impact news. So we have some CAD high impact, CPI. So being careful with the CAD, and then later on during the US, the New York session, there'll be USD news coming up, but nothing too crazy. On Friday, there's some CAD. So overall, we're just going to be looking at CAD and USD, and then all the other currency pairs, see if we have potential setups. All right, so let's go here. Just going to erase all my markups, remove my pivots, just to confuse you all. Go into a bigger time frame. Mark off my levels. Go on to the weekly. Okay, so it seems like it with Euro USD, it did do this. This is actually not considered the breakout, so we actually see a big push last week, and then this week there's this candle right here that's forming. So it's not confirmed that it's going to close above. So potentially, just off of looking at the weekly, and with my pin bar strategy is, we can place a sell. Now this is going to be long term if we do a short like this, but technically with this type of candle movement, we would place a sell here, stop loss somewhere above. So I would probably put it right here, right above this other area's wick. So stop loss there, and then take profit would be a support level. So I would actually potentially right here as like the first level, and then overall long term it could be all the way down into these levels. So that being said, looking at the market, we should be seeing if there is a potential reversal happening, and so we kind of have an idea of what's happening on the bigger time frame, and then we just kind of zoom in, get closer and closer. So going into the daily, see what we got here. Still some heavy sells a couple of days ago going on over here, so it's still showing that potential reversal. Now just looking for market pattern for the reversal. So overall 4 hour, we do see the upward channel. Channel there into 1 hour. So just from looking at the 1 hour, things are pretty choppy. Choppy, kind of going sideways right now, so not really like a reversal pattern. I would say more on the bigger time frame, there is possibly going to be something being formed here. So for the short-term play, we can expect a potential reversal. Once we see the breakout of here, we would most likely see the breakout, and then possible retest, getting in for like a retest entry down into this area. But I can see long-term, it'll most likely do something like this. So be the left shoulder, head, and then possible right shoulder over here in the future, up into about this area, and then looking for that reversal area here. So this will be like the main area to be looking out for. Here for a sell, here for a sell, and even breakouts over here. We'll be looking at for a sell there. So already there's multiple entry locations. As of now, unless you're trying to hold on to this for a really long time, and could place a sell here, and this is like a long-term sell. But overall, this is just going to be my sell area, my sell zone. Just mainly looking for sells in these areas. Okay, so that being said, with Euro USD, GBP USD should be giving us the exact same signs, which should be potentially going towards the downside. Okay, GBP USD. Just erase everything. Time frame. Now, for those that weren't inside of that training where I mentioned about gaps, super useful, super useful. Gaps will always touch. The market will touch it in the future and reject off of it. So you can actually see when it touched over here, hard rejection right where it touched. So I was actually expecting for the reversal here and was buying all within these areas here. So where the current market is at though, so kind of the same thing with Euro USD that we have going on. It did its breakout, but it's not really like a complete breakout where there's bigger candles pushing up. You can tell when it's the breakout on the opposite side if you see candles above like this, where it's big candles above that area of support. Right here, it's not really big candles. There's one that popped out, but then overall it's showing signs of pushing back. Same candlestick pattern that we have right here. With the pin bar strategy, we have a shooting star. And now we just go down to the smaller time frame, and again we kind of see the same type of formation about to be formed, which is possibly coming up to about here and then shooting back down. This will be our neckline. We just got to wait for this movement to form. Now this is a daily head and shoulder pattern potentially happening. Looking at the smaller time frame right now, not really anything here, so from high to low. So it's most likely going to come up to around this 61.8 area, meeting up close to where this left shoulder is at over here. So we'll be seeing something about this type of reaction and looking for sell entries in this area. So sell high when it's a potential reversal, or even on downtrends, sell the highs. So overall, when this does its breakout, and then probably not going to drop this much, but maybe just from the looks of it, probably about negative 61.8 just to meet up with the previous support. Negative 61.8, come back. Let me see if it reached the distance, head to neckline. Yeah, so probably wouldn't have reached the distance, so would most likely come up, retest, and then hit its target. I could see it potentially dropping down to negative 61.8 just from looking at these levels here. So good risk to rewards that we can be seeing here for both Euro USD and GBP USD. Now let's look at the opposite side. Is on, with GBP USD, Euro USD, these are correlating pairs. And this is going down on GBP, so Euro USD will be going down. But with USD JPY, it should be going up. So let's look at USD JPY. By the way, so right now it is 7:17 here. I'm not going to make this webinar too long. So we'll have it for max another 30 minutes. Max for another 30 minutes. So I put my timer there just to remind me. Okay. All right, so USD JPY. So if we're expecting downtrend for GBP USD, USD JPY should be expecting an uptrend. Let's see what we can find here. Okay. Marking off my areas. Definitely had some heavy divergence here, which is why it had its major drop there. And as far as looking at where this is at, it's probably 38.2. So there could potentially be a strong reaction off this area and kind of meet up with everything else, kind of aligned with what's happening with GBP USD and Euro USD, but does not show it as clear as GBP and Euro USD show it. Now, what I do see is potentially just from looking at this overall market formation, we have higher highs happening right here, and as far as these lows right here, right next to each other. Usually when it's next to each other, there's a potential reversal, so possibly coming up to about here and then reversal coming down. So this is going against everything, Euro USD and GBP USD, but still there's potential of USD JPY to go down. Now, how can we confirm it's going to continue going up? It has to break these areas, and it has to break above this high over here. So once we see it break above that high there, then we can look in for a possible like entry on a smaller time frame somewhere around here for a retest for that movement going up. And actually in today's training that I'm going to be covering is going to be retest, just because might as well, since I'm covering that in this live analysis. So retest, that will be coming up. Let me just check on the time. So we got plenty of time. Just analyze a couple more pairs. So right now, potential, but doesn't mean we buy here. We don't want to buy when it's a potential reversal. All right, let's look at another currency pair. Now, if you want me to analyze a currency pair, just put in the chat box area or in the in the chat area on Zoom or YouTube. I was actually thinking about doing these streams on Twitch as well, so never really looked into that platform too much. Just another potential platform to be using here. Now, JPY, that was actually, all the JPYs had a crazy drop to happen. It was actually, for USD JPY, it was this drop right here, just straight drop. That was actually, yesterday. Okay, so let's check out next pair, USD JPY. Let's see USD CAD. Okay, so looking at bigger time frames, see what we got going on. USD CAD. Okay, so just from looking at USD CAD on this time frame, overall this is a ranging area. If it's sideways, most likely it will be knocked out from the upside over here. So that's good, just from seeing that. Lots of orders right there. So let's look smaller time frame. See what we've got here. Okay, so showing signs of still towards that uptrend. Mark off the areas. Still on the uptrend. Now we have some rejection happening right here at the top. We're going towards the uptrend. So right now, it's in an area for buying. Actually, we can get in for a trade right now. Actually, buy here, take profit here, stop loss down here. Now, I'm not saying you have to take this trade, but you'll see that most likely this will go up into this. Check a couple things. Zoom in. Yep, give me 1 second. Do something here on my phone. Three, 6, 7, 2, 1. 5, 6, 7. All right. Now, if you do want to get in a little safer, you can just place a buy stop anywhere above this line here. So 1.36200 on USD CAD. But it is just from looking at this formation going on right here, it's most likely going to reverse. It's already starting the reversal, so yep, that's that there. So expect for price to move all the way up there. Let's check out something else. So USD. Let's do USD CHF. It's been a while for this. Okay, just gonna mark this off since I'm on this time frame as well. Okay, bigger time frame. Let's look for weekly. What's going on here? Choppy. This is why I don't really look at USD CHF too much. Choppiness, but based off this bigger time frame, had some divergence right there, so that's why that drop happened. Price was overbought. Consolidation markets broke out here out of that consolidation area, and the drop will most likely be about this distance here, so it has about halfway more to go. This is overall the sale area. So inside of the sell zone, obviously looking for any potential selling opportunities. So there's multiple right here. 1 hour, let's see what's going on here. Pretty choppy, but I would say it's expected to come up to about here and then looking for a sell opportunity. Now USD CHF down, but this is going up. Now technically it is doing a higher low, so there is still that potential of it to break out and then go towards the upside, since we have that higher low type of formation there. Could possibly come up like that and then down to about here and push up. Yeah, it just all depends on what we see, because even though if this is our sell zone here, it can still potentially go up into this area and then drop down and do its thing. So doesn't mean that we sell in every little area. We just got to look at what's happening on a smaller time frame and then decide on when to enter there. Okay, so let's look at the time. There's about 1 minute left, for then another 15 minutes. So we'll get started for the training. The training portion will take somewhere around 15 minutes, just doing some back testing, teaching the strategy, and then doing the back testing. So stay tuned, just 1 minute. Just check one of the accounts here. 7. All right. NZD USD real quick. Let's see how quick I can do this analysis. Maybe we can spot out an entry. So big reaction down here. Double bottom formation. Big wick that it's showing on the top side right there. Smaller time frame, just to look for potential entries. Zoom in. Trend's pretty much broken. Four-hour formation. You can see the overall pattern that's forming right here. or that is already formed. So we are going to look for that breakout here at neckline. Bunch of wicks that it's giving at the neckline, so no breakout. And breakout coming out pretty soon. All right. Now let's get into the training portion, the fun part. A little bit behind time, but should be fine because I would say I'm pretty decent at explaining this. Okay. So, retests. Retest. Very important strategy to learn, which is why I'm going to be explaining it here. Retest is a form of price action, and price action should be the main focus if you are a technical analysis trader. Now, I do mainly technical, a little bit of fundamental. So with retest, what this means is basically when market is doing its breakout. So let's just say I'm going to do a consolidation market, right? So this is consolidating. And whenever there is a breakout, you will almost always get a retest. Retest means that it's coming back to touch the area of resistance or support, depending on which side it breaks out. And once it hits that area of the retest, you look for an entry right here to get in for that breakout entry. Okay, so with retests, there could be multiple. This is like a consolidation area. Like let's say if it's a market reversal head and shoulder pattern. So like what we have right here on this area here, it's a head and shoulder pattern that's formed right there. And so what we would be looking for is a breakout and a retest. We can get in for the breakout. It's a little bit of an early entry. The better entry is going to be the retest. Retest. Okay. Now, how far will it drop until it does its retest? There's no way that I can tell you how far it will drop. All I know is that the retest is a really good entry area, and most of the times I don't even get into a trade unless there's a retest. Now, if I'm sleeping and maybe I do like a pending sell stop, then then that'd be fine. But for the most part, if you are on your chart, if you're on your chart and you see that it's doing its breakout, I'm gonna show you how to zoom in so you can spot out the retest. And I'll do some back testing right now for y'all. So what normally happens for, let's say, head and shoulder patterns is it'll break out. Now, for the most part, I do see it is the distance from the head to neckline is the distance that it should drop. So if we measure that distance, usually the retest will stop about halfway, retest, and then continue to complete its take profit. Now we can get in sooner. So the retest on a smaller time frame, there's all types of retests that you can find. Like you can find a retest based off a bigger time frame. So this formation right here would kind of be like the retest that we'd find on a bigger time frame because you see more of the movement. But if you're trying to get in for like an earlier entry, let's say somewhere over here, then you can still get in. But so what we would do is zoom into the smaller time frame. Zoom in. And once we see it on the smaller time frame, we would see more of that movement come up. It would usually be in the form of a wick right here, and then dropping down. So something that we probably wouldn't see on the bigger time frame, but we would zoom into the smaller time frame. So keeping that in mind. So that being said, let's go onto the charts and show you all what I'm talking about. Now NZD USD is a bit crazier movement here, but even with crazy movements, we can still spot them. So right here, I can see left shoulder, head, right shoulder right there. Neckline would be here. And so you can see based off of this bigger time frame, we don't see like it stopping halfway and then retest. Right? We see it just completely drop. But just because we see the complete drop doesn't mean we can't spot an entry, the early entry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna zoom into the smaller time frame, so 30-minute. 30-minute, 15-minute. This would probably even be like smaller than that, just from looking at this here. Where is that area? This is not. Okay, it might be too far back to pull it up. Let me see if it shows it. Okay, so it's too far back data to show it on the 5-minute or the smaller time frame, but let me try to find something closer. Okay, so even for trend continuation, so for trend continuation, it's this area right here. So here it did its breakout. Now let's zoom in to this area here and see if we can spot out a retest on a smaller time frame. So zoom into 5-minute. Okay, so just from zooming in right here, we can see a big breakout. Big breakout candle right here. Then it's retest. And for that retest, we see it touch and it wicks it. And when it wicks right there, based off this hammer, I would place a buy right there. The stop loss would be below the wick. So I would probably put it about there. Take profit could be all the way up into at least this wick up here. At least that wick up there. And if not even higher, because this is a breakout. So we would look at other potential areas that are up here of resistance. So far I'm not seeing it. It's a little harder when you're in that uptrend and it's forming the new highs. But so let's see. I'd say like potentially all the way up into that line over there. We're talking this is like a big move. If you were to do something like that, the risk to reward is insane. But so you would find this on the smaller time frame. You would place a buy here, so it would actually look like this. You place a buy there. Just see if this second trade would hit. That's a crazy risk to reward. But let's see. Play. So hit the first one, and then because it's in that breakout, it's in that uptrend, and if it was to come down, so if it was to form the high and then probably come down, it will still probably not even hit your stop loss because you're placing it somewhere below that area of support. So it's still likely to go all the way up into the areas that you have. So this is crazy risk to reward right here, but that's what being able to understand retest can do for you if you know how to be able to identify where the breakout is and then zooming in for that retest. So let me see if looks like it didn't quite hit all the way over there, but it most likely will right now because it dropped down into this area of support. So let's see. And there's a breakout. So even for trend line breakouts, by the way, like right here broke out, there could be that retest that can happen and then continuation towards the downtrend. So the areas where I like looking for them is going to be for consolidation markets when you see it perfectly consolidating. So let me point out an area here. Let me actually do a different currency pair because NZD USD is usually pretty crazy. Gonna erase everything. Okay, so this is actually a perfect area where it's consolidating. Now I can't point out an example just because it hasn't done its breakout yet. But this is like a potential breakout, and I can already expect for it to drop towards the downside based off the analysis earlier. But so let me point out another area. See a couple good ones. Go to the 30 minute. Okay, I'm just going to point out this one right here. So here, consolidation happening, and you can see within this time frame the retest that did happen. Let's see if we can possibly find something more zoomed in. And it's too far back, unfortunately, for doing the retest. Yeah, it's too far back. Play right about here. So we can actually see an earlier entry right there. We didn't see that on the bigger time frame, so that's what I meant. You can spot them out on the smaller time frame. If you zoom in, say 5 minute right there. Perfect sell entry that can be placed right there. Actually gave us the shooting star pattern right there. So it gave us a shooting star pattern right there. So the trade would look something like this. Short, we would place it at the close of that candle. So it'd be right about here. So at the end of the 5 minute. Stop loss, I would keep it probably about here. And then take profit would be down at this wick. Down at this previous low wick. Almost always you will hit those targets. Almost always. And just seeing like long-term this consolidation area, because it consolidates like that, the distance of that drop should be about this distance here. So from the moment it did its breakout, we should be expecting for market to drop all the way down into here. So this is a different strategy. This isn't retest. I showed you how to get in, but for this strategy, this is more long-term. So perfectly hits it. Almost every single consolidation market, when it does its breakout to like right here, consolidating here. So this is another area here. Can zoom in. Smaller time frame, 15 minute, 5 minute. Might have been way too far back. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was too far back. Go back here. Okay, so it's right here. Replay. Shoot. Yeah, it's too far back to get into, I guess. But so, is there any questions so far? Do you guys understand the retest strategy, or is there maybe something that you don't understand too much? Just write in the chat box area. That's what I'm here for, to help assist you guys. There we go. Yeah, it's too far away. Write in the chat box area if you do have any questions. Now let's look for potential. So right here. Neckline like that, we can see the bigger retest that happened right there, and this is based off the 5 minutes. So I'm gonna zoom in. Replay. Play right there. Zoom into 3 minute, 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute shows it better. So breakout. Retest. For this retest, we don't see any shooting star pattern or anything. But so for something like this, you can, it'd be 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's kind of like staying within this area right here. We have this high. We have this high up here, and then we have this low down here. So I would get in for a sell right at the bottom of here. Right there. Stop loss up here. Now this risk to reward is not going to be good. So that's the reward right there, and then the risk, just because we kind of had to wait a bit longer. So for something like this, you can still get in on this trade at that same entry. But so this could be like the early sell for the bigger movement. So from here to here, the drop should be about this much. Now, if you're doing a big movement like this, you want to adjust your stop loss. Give it some room to breathe. So I would probably put it somewhere about there. And so yeah, so straight into its take profit. Because I saw it did a retest. I wasn't sure when it was going to do the retest, but so it did it over here. And that's the bigger time frame retest. Here's actually like a double top formation right there. Retest. Now here we don't have a shooting star. But again, same thing. We can point out the high point here, low point here, sell somewhere below. Stop loss, I put it somewhere around there. Take profit again, same situation where it's going to be a bit too tight. So for this one, I will put it at the next area of resistance, which is about here. That could be like take profit 1, take profit 2. One, and then 2. Easy as that. Not too complicated. I know I kind of have an advantage because I'm able to see what happened in the future, but it's the same thing as if you were to see it live. Same exact concept. So don't over complicate this strategy. Like right now with Euro USD, it's doing that consolidation. All these areas right here didn't show signs of a reversal. You can see like just hit, rejected, hit, rejected. So once we see that the price is down here, the body is down here, then look for it to come back up on the smaller time frame and then sell. It's as easy as that. You can have really good risk to reward, good profits on all these trades. Now, I'm having fun doing this, so let me just find out, let me find a different one. And actually, first person to point out currency pair in the chat area, I'll look it up. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Odd NZD. That's from someone on YouTube. Okay, so Odd NZD, let's just look at if it's currently at a breakout area. Pretty much considered it's breakout right here. We have this high right here. This area right here is giving a long wick. Zoom into the smaller time frame. Oh, actually right now could be a good buy entry. Should have been a long time ago, but the entry, or not a long time ago, cut like 15 minutes ago. Entry here, take profit up here, stop loss down there. I'd say that's going to be at least the distance of breakout, or that movement there. So looking a bit more back here. If I go here to the retest area, and you can actually see there's wicks down here. Those wicks, if I go down into even smaller time frames, you don't see like breakout retests. It's just wicks even on the smaller time frame. So like this right here, you can tell the difference between this type of market movement and this movement over here. So this right here is definitely the retest. Now zoom in smaller just to see if, okay, so we don't see anything on the 1 minute or anything there. So it's going to be, let's see, 1 minute, 1 minute. This one's a little complicated just because it's choppy. The way that I would do it is right here. It's a pretty good support resistance area just by looking at the bodies. So we could be selling selling anywhere below. So it can be here, stop loss above. And then take profit for this would look, let's see. That's about a 1-to-1 right there. That for sure should hit. And then like longer term, down into this area. So we'll just adjust these. Actually, clone. Play. There's target. See that wick came all the way up there. And then second target. Possible rejection off of there. Let's do this live. Oh shit. Okay. Anyways, I mentioned about doing it live because it was stopping right here, and so in this area right here, zoomed in, retest right there on that breakout, smaller trend line right here, retest, hit. Breakout entry right here, long position here, take profit. Let me just look to see. This reward's not good. Second, I would have aimed for about there. So that's what that trade would have looked like. Unfortunately, didn't. Let's look for something else potentially. Let's try to do this more live. Okay, here. All right. That's a breakout. Let's look for a retest. This one's a little complicated because it's above, so I wouldn't have gotten it in there. Oh, that one probably would have been good. Yeah, here would have been better. That was way too fast for me right there. Have the speed way too quick. Let's spot another one. Let me turn it down a little bit more. Okay. Oh, okay. So here, this bigger this bigger resistance up here, breakout, that's looking to do its retest right here. And so let me slow this down. Okay, I think 1 time speed is good. See, so we're waiting to see if there's any signs. So right now, we can see it dropped pretty hard, and it's giving this wick. So potentially right here, depending on how this one closes, we would enter in on the next candle. Stop loss about here. Let's see the next candle. Nope. So we wouldn't have actually. No, it did close in a shooting star. So let's see. I mean, that one's a hammer. Oh, looks like it gave a little bit more movement on this extra one, and then it came into that area. So it did a shooting star. It did a hammer here, and then it did another hammer here, and then this wick movement right there. But again, this is odd NZD. Odd NZD is a little bit tricky. Now I didn't point out this area here of support. So it would have been best to put it somewhere below this trend line support. So when it was previously here, I just didn't point this part out. So yeah, it would have been below this area of support and then target. Now I didn't see how high it went up. It did do a strong push, but I would say target first area here, second, about here. First, now we can possibly find a bigger time frame retest. So you can tell what a bigger time frame retest is when it does its big movement like that, and then it comes down like a bigger push, and then possibly that retest. So let's see. That's smaller time frame retest. So right here, somewhere around here. Let's see if it gives us something. Yeah, no pattern there, but that's the bigger time frame retest that I'm talking about. Bigger time frame retest, and it should hit. Let me speed it up some more. Yeah, at this point, it's looking like it's these lows way too low. It's probably going to stop right here and then drop down. Just from looking at market formation. So it didn't completely break through, but just from looking at this, breakout, drop. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much how you read market. Just look at flows. I've been looking at this for so long now, what, going on to 4 years. Been 4 years, 5 years, I think. It's been some time now. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing all over Forex, stocks, crypto. Same exact concept, even right here, breakout, retest, entry for that area could have been right there for a sell, short here, stop loss, take profit for something like this. We're expecting a take profit to drop somewhere about this much. So good 1-to-2 ratio. Let's see. There's a retest, bigger retest. Oh. Yeah, that's not likely. Almost for sure it's going to drop down to this area, but that rejection coming back, I don't even know what that is. Could have been news. Let's see. It's around. It's around London or New York. Odd NZD. Odd NZD, I don't really trade. It's not one of the majors, but any of the majors, just those are usually the ones to stick with if you want to do this. You can do it with here. Just know with odd NZD, they do go back and forth a lot, which is actually why that's one of the pairs that we use for the auto market master stuff. It's always back and forth like this. When it comes down, it'll come back up. Like comes down, comes back up. So lots of areas where it'll come back up. Here, drop down. Most likely, it's going to come back up to about here. But yeah, that's that's pretty much that, you guys. So yeah, thank you guys for joining in here. And we'll be back at it again next Tuesday. If you have any questions, reach out to us at the Market Masters Discord. We're going to be both on Discord and Telegram. So whichever one, reach out to us. We'll help you guys out. Talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Let's catch some pips. Let's make some money. See ya.